Shalom, party people, and welcome to the 12th C. It is November 15th, 2022. I ran two and a half very slow miles what time? It was like 1:30, 2 o'clock this afternoon. So I am still on the upswing. I think I've identified what I'm sick with. I think it's hand, foot, and mouth, actually, which kids get all the time, and I never recall getting as a kid. I've got like sores on my hands, and I've got like this weird tingly sensation and like pins and needles in my feet. And what I was feeling yesterday in my hands is what I'm beginning to feel in my feet today. And it made running very awkward. And I'm just also just tired and like slow. And so I definitely was not breaking any records today when I attempted to go for that run. But it was 20 minutes of continuous running, so somewhere between 2.5 miles. But it definitely was not over 2.5. I can tell you that right now. It was probably closer to like 2.1, to like, just to be quite frank. It was a slow burn. Let's see. I also did 100 burpees, and that was, good. I think so. I had decent form while I was doing them, and it was just more about, hey, I need to do this. All in all, the today 197 on my, or no, I was 198 on my way in today. Yeah, 198 pounds even, which was surprising to get two evens 2 days in a row. But anyway, I did my gallon. I have had peanut butter banana oatmeal. What a shocker. I had a kind of the same taco helper, whatever, that I had yesterday. And I also ate some like little mini tacos from Sam's Club, and they were very good. I think they needed a little bit more seasoning, but it was kind of like, hey, this is a little bite-sized taco thing. I had some sugar-free chips as well, and then I had an apple, and that was very delicious to have with that. And then I'm about to go have some like shepherd's pie, stew, whatever, for dinner. Uh, and so finished out Ecclesiastes and then Song of Solomon. So that's it for Bible reading. As far as having completed all the New Testament between last 75 hard and this one, and then going to start in Matthew tomorrow. Continued reading in Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership. And this one that I've been chewing on a little bit has been more of the focusing on the small details. And I just had a conversation with a brother last night about how, the small details matter, but when somebody becomes anal and judgmental about the small details, to the point where they look down on people because someone's not, operating to the same standard. Now, obviously, if someone's saying, hey, I am going to be held to this standard, and then they're not meeting that, that's totally different. But if it's just the, oh, hey, you don't agree with me about this, or hey, you're doing things differently than I am, the arrogance of that kind of attitude is toxic. But when it's the, hey, we are going to have our routine solid, we're going to wake up at this time, we are going to go work out, this hard, this far, this fast, this heavy, and we are going to kick butt and take names, and the form's going to be perfect. And then we are going to, have our clothes be squared away in order. We are not going to look like slobs when we go anywhere. We are going to dress with precision. We are going to have grooming standards to precision. We are going to carry ourselves this way. We are going to, not only are we going to, get our vehicle where we're supposed to go on time, but our vehicle is going to be washed and waxed, and everything's going to be in well-tuned, well-oiled machine. small details matter. In a previous life, and I'm not talking past life stuff, but like in a previous, I was, different job. I had a situation where day in, day out, I was doing a lot of inspections. And I also had a lot of people coming and inspecting my stuff. And the general rule of thumb was that the standard is set that, these things are going to be done this way. And the person who is going and looking over it is making sure that everything was done to the standard. On top of that, this was not written anywhere, but this was the general attitude of, if the little things that ultimately probably didn't matter, but the small details of, okay, this item, you could have done it any old way as long as, it, passed, it was fine. But not only did you get it to passing, but you also made the way this was supposed to come out look like a picture from the textbook, saying this is, a prime example. And so your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, and all your ducks are in a row. If that was the case, then the detail of the inspection was, all right, he is doing the little things right. So I am not going to tear into this and, just be going through this with a fine-tooth comb. It's like if he's getting the little stuff done textbook, then he's probably doing the big things textbook as well, because the big things are more than likely falling into line because he got the little things squared away, because he wouldn't care about the little things if he didn't, also take care of the big things. That was kind of the general consensus that a lot of the people who did inspections had, and I had that myself. It's like, if you have, these stuff that it doesn't matter if, the edge of the nut is facing north or not, and you made sure not only was the leading edge facing north, but it was pretty and polished, and it had a nice ribbon on top of it as well. If that was the case, then it's like, okay, yeah, they really went above and beyond to make sure this was rock solid. Cool. I'm not going to, dig in deeper and, be so thorough with an overzealous inspection, just looking for things that were wrong. On the flip side, when somebody just set something up and it was tight and there weren't any clean lines, they didn't clean up after themselves, there's just stuff laying around, it's greasy, it's dirty, they didn't wash wax and bring it back with a full tank of gas. It's like, okay, well, you met minimum standards, but you were sloppy. And were you sloppy with something that you shouldn't have been sloppy with? So, okay, we're gonna look under the cushions, we're gonna raise the carpet up, we're gonna actually go in with a flashlight and a mirror and a fine-tooth comb, and we're gonna find what, what else were you not squared away on. And sometimes it was like, okay, you did everything to minimums, but you probably could have done a little bit more, but you did everything to minimums. Or it's like, oh, hey, you missed something big, or you left a hammer just laying around, and this hammer could have gotten sucked up and really caused a big problem. Or hey, this line is leaking, and now because this is leaking over here, you didn't find this when you were supposed to be working on this that was right next to it, that you could literally see the entire time, and probably got stuff dripping on you. Or did you cause the leak? So just having to go in a lot deeper, and then sometimes finding things. And I can honestly say that in the situations where that inspection is going through and the person's all squared away, never had a situation where and it's not that we neglected with the inspection. It's not that it was like, oh yeah, it looks good, close it up. It's like, no, we still do the full thorough inspection, but never found a situation where the little things were squared away and something big was wrong. Doesn't mean that there weren't little things that were wrong, but usually if they were squared away, everything was very hunky-dory. Bless me. But yeah, all in all, something that's talked about in Jocko Willink's book is that when they were very at the forefront of their mind concerned with the little details and getting them right and perfect, that the big stuff they never had to worry about. And I find that, definitely needs to be a fine line walked of not getting arrogant and not getting showboaty about it at all, and not getting judgmental of others about it. But when we're talking about self-critique of, hey, I need to get these little things right, being faithful in the little things, so that way there's zero questions about being faithful in the big things. All right, I'm tired, I'm hungry. Go do hard things.